how are when Trump puts a tariff, oh, this is a hard word to say. How are retaliatory tariffs good? They're not always. It's pretty complicated, actually. Now, this is in reference to Colombia, where Trump said you're going to take these immigrants, and the president of Colombia said, no, we aren't. And then Trump said, well, if you don't, I'll put tariffs on your country. We get things from Colombia, including oil, which we use to make gasoline, so our gas prices would go up, coffee, flowers, and fruit, among probably some other things. So then what did Colombia say? Oh, if you're going to put tariffs on us, we're going to put tariffs on the products that we import from you. And the question is, wouldn't that be bad for their economy? And yes, but as always, all of these things are fairly complicated. So let's kind of talk about the pros and cons. Ultimately, the president of Colombia kind of backed off, which makes people think Trump got a victory, that he was strongman, he was intimidating, they caved, this is a victory. But it's not really a victory. He's playing a really dangerous game here, but we'll get into that in a second. But let's say, for example, that this didn't happen, that they didn't back down, and he did follow through with this tariff sort of trade war. What it means is that it decreases the demand for things that we would be buying. We're going to be buying less coffee, we're going to be buying less fruit, less flowers. Anything that comes from Colombia is going to be more expensive, so we're not going to buy it. So what happens in Colombia? By imposing tariffs on U.S. goods in Colombia, it is encouraging citizens in Colombia to buy local products instead, which is great if they have the means to produce things and kind of bad if they don't. It's kind of like a game of chicken. Like, if you do this, we'll do that. Who's going to back down, huh? We're not going to. Are you going to back down? Well, in this case, Colombia backed down. But what if another country down the road decides not to back down? This is kind of what has me worried about this whole strongman approach, by the way, of like, we're gonna restore respect around America by being tough and being mean and being a bully. The problem is, eventually the bully gets his ass whooped. And Colombia backing down, well, they're not our biggest trade partner, so okay, fine. What about someone like China who goes, oh, really? Oh, really? Are you sure you want to do this? Because we'll fucking crush you. And they have the means to do it. And then they can form their own little group of allies and kind of push us out of the side. And we're really in trouble if that happens, because we don't have the means to produce stuff here, right? We don't have the factories. We don't have the labor. We don't have the skill. Our cost of living is so much higher, too, that if we were to start producing stuff at home, like bring the jobs back, that's bullshit, because the cost of living is so high versus, say, in Bangladesh, where you can get much more affordable labor. So cost of living goes up, prices go up. This is a very tricky situation. And unfortunately, the people who always are looking for the easiest solution are often wrong, because there is no easy solution, right? But the comment that I'm replying to said, won't this hurt the people in Colombia or some other country where this does happen and we do have a trade war? And the answer is yes, but not imposing your own retaliatory tariffs makes you look weak. So again, this comes back to this whole game of chicken, this whole pissing match kind of thing of like, we have to retaliate so the other people in the world or even the United States don't think we're weak. Oh yeah? We'll do it to you. So it's like a mutually assured destruction. And the reason that economists do not like the threat that Trump is making of trade wars is because globally this is really, really bad. This is really, really bad. Trade wars are not good. They cause global uncertainty, they cause economic slowdowns, they cause a host of other problems. And by the way, this creates a lot of uncertainty for your investment portfolio, and with Wall Street in particular, right? Because it creates uncertainty with your consumer base. They're not sure if they want to buy stuff. Maybe they can't afford to buy stuff. They buy less. It causes supply chain issues. Even if we did bring the jobs home, well, we don't make a lot of the materials here that we use for stuff like rubber and steel and aluminum. So even if we did bring home a factory where we were going to make the things here, we'd still have to import the materials, which increases the cost of all these things. This just causes one disruption after another. It is not good. I personally think that some people are attracted to this strongman approach because they don't understand diplomacy and they don't know other ways to go about getting things done other than, hey, give me your lunch money, nerd, or I'll beat the shit out of you. right? And so the nerd gives over the lunch money. Oh, sorry, here, take my lunch money. Do my homework too. Okay, oh yeah, okay, yes sir, I'll do your homework for you. And eventually, that bully finds the wrong guy and goes, hey, nerd, give me your money. And the nerd turns, lights out.